Next one I wanted to talk to you about is we've spoken to clients who have previously undertaken a similar process in the past and feel like their workplace relations review, no matter how comprehensive it was done, and it may have been done by a specialized HR person, but they feel like it's a set and forget project. Once it's done, that's it. I can forget about it forever. But as I understand it, legislation and modern awards are constantly changing. And with the awards, there were some big changes beginning in 2020, which I understand are still taking place today. Do you have any insights that you can share on that?
Well, yeah, the modern awards, when they were made in 2010, were actually meant to go through a full yearly updating process. They realised how big of a task that was at the first 4-year stage, and they didn't actually release their first major updates until the 2020 period. They've scrapped the 4-year update model. They're slowly working through the majority of the awards. Most of them have the 2020 title on them at the moment. You may find a few small ones out there still, such as Hair and Beauty, which is 2010. But it doesn't mean that these awards won't get an update or haven't had updates. The Fair Work Ombudsman actually, or Fair Work Commission, from precedent cases or applications made to the Commission, update them all the time. So it's one thing to understand that the award that would cover your business now, or has traditionally covered your business, but it's something that the businesses should at least review yearly on every financial year, or when they're specifically working with a specific clause, such as meal breaks or how overtime may apply, that they just refresh themselves with that specific clause in the award, because it could have got a mid-year update, or a case or precedent could have pushed through a change to the Fair Work Commission. The SHADS Award had another big update just recently, where they've gone through and changed a lot of mechanics in the way things worked, and tried to put it a lot more into plain English to make it more understandable. A lot of awards recently, the 2020 update also got tables put in them about minimum rates of pay or common allowances throughout the award, to make them a lot more clearly identifiable when we have to put all these together for either annualised salary or just common law salary arrangements.
Yeah, that's a lot of changes. I know the SHADS Award is your favourite one to work with.
Not really.
We work with a lot of not-for-profit organisations, and basically, so we're dealing with this award quite often, and it's one of the more challenging ones. The other thing I
was going to say, it's just basically 4 awards all mushed together. So that's what makes it more complex. You've got to understand, like, which segment of the award are you thinking about, and how it applies to the industry that you're in. And I think that's just the most complex piece about it, is that you've got to understand your stream, and then which clauses relate to which stream. That's why it's complicated in some cases. Not to mention the classification schedule.
Makes sense. I'm glad it's you, not me, going through that. The other thing that's, I think, has been well reported in the media around change has been, there's been some significant changes in regards to the casualisation of the workforce, or how casuals are deal. I guess in the media they're reporting that, you know, as a country, we're becoming a little bit more casualised in terms of our workforce, and associated changes have been made. Do you have anything that you can share around some of the changes that have happened with casual employees and things that businesses need to be aware of that's covered in our workplace relations review?
Well, we've gone through a lot of changes with the casualisation, and when we talk about casualisation, it's basically the government want to secure work for Australians as best as possible. They always look at that unemployment rate, and they're trying to secure permanent employment as best as possible. We haven't gone through all of our casual legislation changes, there's winds that there's more coming through with some of the promises the current government has made that they will be trying to have a look at that system again and ensure that it's meeting the needs of Australia as best as possible. It could be rolling back some of the current changes or even implementing new ones. And it's not just for casual workers, it's also going to affect fixed term contracts and successive rolling contracts being back to back. So with that changing space, we just have to look at what the precedents are and ensure that from the current standards and the changes that we went through in the last few years with casuals, that we're putting together the best clauses that are ultimately possible for the business. I was just speaking to a client yesterday about casual loading being one very specific piece and how we record it on pay slips, and whether or not if it's separately identifiable, and if it is, and we can clearly identify how much the casual loading is, and if an employee is ever deemed to not be casual, well, that's a good opportunity there for recourse to be able to recall that if the employee is ever deemed permanent.
I think all of that is a really good advertisement of why a workplace relations review is not simply set and forget. I know with the casual, changes, just as an example, they've gone from at one point from a common law definition to a casual employee across to it being legislated in the Fair Work Act, and now it sounds like potentially the current federal government are looking to change it back. And that's just a really good example why you can't simply put something in place and leave it in place for 10 years and don't look at it again.
Does your business currently have a HR or workplace relations issue?
Are you unsure how to work through compliance issues but still achieve a good business outcome?
Why not take advantage of On Demand HR's free 30-minute online consultation with an experienced HR consultant?
At the end of the consultation, we also provide you with a strategic action plan to resolve your current issues.
To see the types of matters we can help with and to schedule your consultation, please visit ondemandhr.com.au/advice.
We look forward to delivering certainty, confidence, and clarity for your business in your HR and workplace relations affairs.